So I saw Blasphemous 2 got released, and I was like, I've never played the first one. I've never played it. So I was like, let's give it a go. The community were talking all about it. You know, when it released, everyone was talking about it, whatever. So I gave it a go. And it's a video game. It's absolutely a fact. It's a video game. I finished it. I mean, I didn't 100% all the side stuff and everything, but I finished the campaign, whatever you call it. And I did about 80%, I think, of the percentage thing. And well, I mean, I didn't enjoy it. I just straight up didn't really enjoy it. This game doesn't really care about like telling a riveting story in the slightest. And it doesn't really even give two shits as to whether you understand what's going on. It intentionally relies solely on just weariness and gore to keep you going as fuel. All aspects of this game are mid, bar its visual art style. The art style is pretty cool. Blasphemous is a very, very basic game, and it relies on two things: dreariness and gore. In what fucking world is that fuel to play a game, or to consume any content for that matter? Sure, the gore can be a fun novelty thing to react to every now and again, but when it's the only thing that stands out in the hopeless, dead world around you, you just grow numb to it. I just stopped caring about those aspects of the game, and by extension, I just stopped caring about the game. About halfway through Blasphemous, I realized I was only playing this to write this review. Music? Music. I love great soundtracks in games. Music could have been the answer to solving the dreariness in the game. I probably honestly care more about music in games than most people. I'm looking at other reviews for this game, and no one's making any mention of the music in the slightest, but I've never been more bored in my goddamn life. Let me give you an example of the soundtrack. This right here, this is a boss fight. Take a listen to this music. Okay, now let me put in the boss fight music from Hollow Knight over the top of this gameplay. Want another example? Watch this gameplay of me climbing an icy mountain. Now let me add some music from the game Outward. Blasphemous music, it's not necessarily bad, but its background music doesn't really attempt to establish a tone. And I guess that's partly the point. Or rather, I should say, if the gameplay is boring, then you should rely heavily on music to establish some sort of atmosphere. Enemies are so goddamn basic. Once you master an enemy's attack pattern, you're done. I don't want to backtrack and slog through enemies that I know the attack patterns of. You will fight 5 of one enemy and 5 of one other in a whole area, and those two enemy types only have one attack. The sheer lack of combat diversity is just boring and annoying, and it's awful having to go through these goddamn areas over and over. And while we're on that matter, yeah, you need to go through those places over and over because fast travel spots are so sparse. However, I have been made aware that only after finishing the game that there is a more convenient fast travel system if you do something in the game. The thing you need to do is not obvious, and most players will not realize to do this thing. So I, and most other players I imagine, are going to be just slogging through these boring fights. After doing the first tutorial bit-ish, whatever thing in the game, you're sort of just thrown in the middle of the map, and you can go in any direction to progress. Basically, you can get any piece of the Triforce in any order you want. Now, I mean, freedom generally is a good thing, but I'll be honest, I don't really know how I feel about this entirely. I feel like by having no obstacles for the directions you can take, you're rendering any need to get items to unlock an area obsolete, right? But the powers and abilities to finally traverse areas is what makes a Metroidvania, right? It's that sense of discovery. It's everything. And while we're at it, those cool items that would give us that sense of discovery and progression and, you know, remove that dreariness and boringness, they're optional, right? Like, the best part of a Metroidvania is an optional feature in this game. In my playthrough, I was going through the game just thinking, damn, I would love to double jump up there, or imagine if I could phase past this gate after learning Ghost Form. But it was just so sparse. I found one ability, like one Metroidvania ability in my entire playthrough. It had turned out I just missed them all. But my bare-boned experience upon completion just left me disappointed and a little sour about my campaign, right? I spent about 13 hours in this game. After the first 3 hours, the excitement just wore off, and I just couldn't bring myself to really enjoy myself and play this game for more than an hour at a time. I haven't really done any investigation in the second game, but if it's anything like what I've experienced in the first one, I'm just not really excited, enthusiastic about that potential experience. If you love Metroidvanias, like I do, truly, this game isn't that great. Instead, try playing a game called Infernax. It's the perfect Metroidvania that no one's playing. Really. The music's fantastic, the Metroidvania-ness of it is fantastic, the story is riveting. It's not like, you know, incredibly lore-heavy like this game, but it's rich, and I love it, and it's fantastic. It's a brilliant homage to the old style of games that actually deserves a sequel, for that matter. Anyway, thanks for watching. This channel is just about me sharing my thoughts and my experiences on games. If you like that sort of thing, give us a like and give us a sub, yeah? Cheers.